The light placed within me. Turning, I called out to those around, "Come, all, follow me. Do as I do. See where he goes." We follow. We are not afraid, for darkness has no power over us. We are children of the light. Several stepped forward, and then a few more, forming ranks of tattered souls. A ragged congregation marching forward with the belief that victory was already theirs. The demons screeched, charging forward like a great black wave. They came crashing into the foremost ranks, claws flailing. And as their blows fell, an explosive wave of cleansing light burst forth from their wounds. The towering blue wall of luminance surged forward, sweeping over their ranks, cascading down like a baptism of liquid fire, completely saturating the advancing horde. The demons wailed and screamed and gnashed their teeth as their forms burned to ash. The battle was engaged, though a stranger battle I had never seen. For one side attacked, and only one. One side marched forward, and only one. The demons in rage continued their futile assault upon us, futile with every stroke, for they had no defense against the light placed within us. This light so potent, so all-consuming, no weapon of the enemy could prosper against it. No evil could stand before us. I looked reassured in the midst of the battle. I could not see, but I could see his light. A banner so bright and all-encompassing, leading me through the chaos, as wave upon wave of blackness struck from all sides. I felt the sting of cuts, yes, the slash of claws, but the pain I felt paled in comparison to the glory that surrounded me. The cavern erupted in bursting flows of light, potent as fire, exploding out in the fiercest areas of combat. And through all this I lifted not one fist, not one sword. Everywhere I looked it was the same. Every wound poured forth pure silvery blue light, and every evil it touched burned to ash. The whole of the cavern became completely consumed, infused with a radiant silvery blue cloud of light, swirling and churning up, spinning like a cyclone of blue fire, illuminating every crevice and scouring out every corner of darkness. Then a rumble began to fill the air. The very earth trembled beneath me. The light swirled and streamed together, and then amidst flashes of lightning and claps of thunder, it swept away over the crest of the hill, toward the river, and disappeared. All became quiet. All became still. I surveyed the field of battle. The blackness was gone. No foe remained. Every shred of evil had been utterly obliterated. I turned and looked towards the tree. There beside it stood Yeshua, gazing up through its branches. The defending angel knelt at his side, sword laid at his feet, his head bowed in a weary but grateful respect. Then Yeshua reached up and picked the fruit. It glistened with an inner light and it rested in his palm, and he held it out to us. Come, friends, taste and see that the Lord is good. You who are weary and heavy laden, he makes a way for all who seek it, for those who are lost to be found, to open their eyes to the world of truth, the world uncorrupt. Come, my friends, eat. Who will be the first? A woman stepped forward, trembling, tears welling up in her eyes. Perhaps you can guess who it was. Eve, poor Eve, she who had taken that first bite of death so many years ago, now yearned for that first bite of life. Yeshua, smiling gently, placed the piece of fruit in her hand, and slowly she took it and raised it up to her lips, but she couldn't bring herself to take a bite. Overcome, she faltered, and the fruit toppled from her hand onto the ground. But before she could kneel down to retrieve it, there, from the crowd on the far side, a small child darted forward. A girl. It was my girl. She rushed to Eve's side in a flash, scooped up the fruit, and placed it back in Eve's hand, then gazed up at her with anticipation. Eve smiled down at her and gently touched her cheek. Then closing her eyes, she took the fruit and took a bite. She became transformed. A new look of wonder, of joy, of inexpressible contentment washed over her face. Like a giddy child, she bounded into Yeshua's arms, squeezing him tightly. Then Eve knelt down and offered the fruit to the little girl. And as she too took a bite, that same aura of joy lit up her face, like the look of a blind man that sees a sunset for the first time. And Yeshua's bidding, others came forward. Fruits were picked, bites were taken, and joy was known. Yeshua secretly handed another piece to Eve, and she in turn, with a mischievous grin, gave the fruit to Adam. Adam smiled tenderly. Closing his eyes, he took the fruit and took a bite. Then opened his eyes and began to weep, joy shining through his tears, lost in a happy dream. Eve took his hand, and together they walked past the tree towards a destination yet unknown to me. The little girl gleefully rushed over and jumped into my arms. She gave me a quick kiss, and then squirmed away and ran after her. Yeshua smiled, watching her go. Well, my friend, he said, reaching up to take another piece of fruit, the time has come for me to fulfill my promise to you. Promise, I asked. Eat, he laughed, anxious as seemed to reveal some secret. Eat and you will remember. A promise is a promise, and he placed the piece of fruit in my hand. So I took it and I lifted it to my mouth, and I took a bite. Everything changed. I watched as the world burst into a myriad of colors. Walls of rock dissolved away in a tingling buzz of light. Colors whirled and danced before me, and with a sound like the wind rustling through the leaves, the world settled into beauty indescribable. My eyes were open, and I gazed wide-eyed at my surroundings. Before me lay a far green country, hills and plains, mountains and valleys, a rich sky and a colorful sunset stretching across the horizon. Bubbling rivers crisscrossed the landscape, trees of every color towered over us, swaying with a gentle breeze. Such beauty, warm, rich, soft and inviting me to run, to explore, to rest. I knew in my soul that this is where I belonged. This was what I was made for. The day is almost over, my friend, Yeshua whispered. Is this not paradise? Soaking in the sights and sounds surrounding me, the meaning of his words filled my soul with a blessed wonder. Paradise. This day you will be with me in paradise. Your promise to me. But surely, all this enduring day I have been with you in paradise. For in you is goodness and righteousness, love and forgiveness, grace for a crooked soul. That is paradise. Everything in you is paradise. Yeshua looked away from me for a moment, frowned a little, grunted to himself. I thought perhaps I had offended him in some way. But then with a twinkle in his eye, he turned back and whispered, well, this isn't too bad either though, is it? He raised an eyebrow at me, and I laughed. Oh no, my friend. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. No, he sighed. Not too bad at all. And this is just the beginning. Go further in. See the wonders my Father has prepared for you. Paradise is larger than you can possibly imagine. Just as Yeshua was saying this, the little girl came running up and began tugging at my hand. Come on, come on, come and see, come and see. Smiling down at her, Yeshua placed a hand on my shoulder and said, go, my friend, enter into your rest. It was then that I realized he was not going with us. Somehow, though, I was not surprised. Nor did I feel sad. Somehow I knew that his work was not yet complete. I felt the pain and regret knowing that I would not be by his side to witness what was to follow, but it was not to be. What will you do now? I asked. And he answered me this way. Behold, a sign to this generation, the sign of Jonah. For as Jonah spent 3 days and nights in the belly of a huge fish, so shall the Son of Man spend 3 days in the belly of the earth. More riddles. What do you mean? 2 days more, my friend. I assure you, I shall not be idle as I pass the time. He then turned and began making his way through the surrounding crowd, against the flow of rescued souls, welcoming them into paradise as he passed. And I wondered what new miracles were to follow. I watched him go as he passed out of the crowd on the far side, and then out an arch of stone. And he was gone. Now, my friends, do you know me? I was a thief, a murderer, destitute of virtue, dead in myself. But wait, that is who I was, not who I am. I am one saved by he who shared my earthly fate, who felt the pain I felt and endured the punishment I bore. I am one who watched as he raised the prisoners from the depths of their captivity out of the mires of death. I am one who reached into those depths and saved the soul I wronged most, was forgiven by the faith of a little child. I am one who is forgiven. I am one snatched out of darkness. I am one consumed by the light. And I am one to whom a promise was given, and a promise was kept, and to whom paradise was revealed. This is who I am. This is what he made of me. Now, my friends, now I think you know me.
ask you too.